Gold prices aren't just rising, they're exploding to record highs. And it's not retail investors or hedge funds that are driving it, it's the people who print money for a living. So the question is, why are entire countries rushing to gold? It's a major warning that the entire global financial system could be headed for collapse. I'm Biko Konstantinos, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Gold, baby. It's sparkly. So shiny. But more than that, it's valuable. And you could add a stack of value to your life just by liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Yes, it's a risk, but what do they say about risks? Some are great, but some might just kill you. Actually, I don't know if they say that. So why is the gold price rising exponentially? And what's the major warning it's telling us? Now, a lot of you probably don't know, but when I first created my YouTube channel, I used to do videos about gold. Check out my ultra excited, high-pitched voice in some of these clips. The gold price is heading back towards all-time highs. And if those levels get broken, it's gonna be on.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
So is the gold price mega boom only just getting started? Gold is poised to break out above massive resistance that has been in place for over a decade. And if we see a genuine breakout, the gold price might never look back. The price of gold has been languishing, and frankly, it's been weak as piss. But this could be all about to change, with everything pointing to a screaming buy in gold and everything gold related. I even made this video in 2021 titled, "Is gold forming a massive cup and handle pattern?" Back then, the price of gold was just under $2,000 US. Let's check out what it's been doing recently. The gold price spiked in 2011, but then had 10 years where it really performed badly before coming strong again in 2020. But then for the next few years, it kept trying to break above that resistance that was around about that $2,000 US mark. After multiple attempts, in 2024 it finally broke through, but look what's happened since then. Since early 2024, gold's gone on a violent upward move all the way to $3,900. So that's nearly a doubling of the gold price in a very short period of time. So what's causing this gold rush? Now, gold has always been seen as an asset of great value ever since civilization started being recorded. Gold is mentioned throughout the entire Bible. It's always been something that's been used to buy and sell with. There's stories from the pirate days where ships would carry chests full of gold, and obviously the pirates would try and steal it. And then we have the gold rush in the 1800s, where people would literally move to a gold producing area just hoping to strike it rich. But now we have a new gold rush, but this time it's not digging up the gold, it's buying it in record levels. And who's doing that buying? Central bloody banks. Over the past several years, central banks have been buying gold at the fastest rate in 50 years.
Central bank gold purchasers are doing this. They're buying tremendous amounts of gold, and instead they are selling or buying less US government debt. This is the highest gold buying we've seen in 50 years. Since 1996, central banks now own more gold than dollars. This is a real, seismic shift that's not going to get reversed anytime soon. Because these central banks, they've got trillions of dollars. They know what's coming because they're part of the system.
In the last year alone, countries like China, Russia, India, and Turkey have been loading up on gold like there's no tomorrow. So the institutions that literally can create money are starting to buy and hoard gold. So the question we need to ask, what are they preparing for? In our current financial system, we use dollars. However, gold is sort of like an anti-dollar, and that's because it can't be printed and it doesn't rely on trust in any government like the actual dollar does. So when central banks start stockpiling gold, that's a very strong indication that they're losing faith in fiat currencies. And why might they be doing that? Well, unsustainable debt could be one reason. US debt has now blown out to $35 trillion. And the interest payments on that alone is $1 trillion a year. So that's money that has to be borrowed just to pay the interest on old debt. So national debts are growing exponentially, and countries are seeing this, buying up gold because they're concerned that the dollar or fiat currencies could totally collapse. Countries are moving away from the US dollar and they're using gold to do it. The BRICS nations, which include Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus some others, are openly talking about a gold-backed trading currency. And it's no coincidence that these same countries are buying up record amounts of gold. After Russia invaded Ukraine, Russia's US dollar reserves were frozen by Western nations. Now, this seemed to create fear for many countries because they realized that if you own US dollars, your money isn't really yours. So this seems to have led to a rush to gold because it can't be frozen, it can't be seized. So it's the only true neutral reserve asset left. Now, central banks aren't buying gold to make a profit, they're buying it to protect themselves. It's the ultimate defensive move, a very strong signal that they're worried about what's coming ahead. And there sure is a lot to be bloody worried about. We've got continuing levels of inflation, which could end up leading to stagflation, which occurs when you have stagnant economic growth, high unemployment, and rising inflation all at the same time. We've got a global debt crisis, which only seems to be getting worse every day. And there's even the potential of a new monetary order. And you only have to listen to the World Economic Forum to know that they'd love to do something like that. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the global financial system is fragmenting. We're watching in real time as the current financial system starts to unravel. Our current fiat system is a monetary system where a government-issued currency has value because the public has faith in it and the government has declared it legal tender. Now, before 1971, the US dollar was directly tied to gold. That meant that every single dollar in circulation was backed by a fixed amount of gold held by the US government. This made the dollar as good as gold, and the world trusted it completely. But the US realized that they didn't have enough gold to cover all the dollars in circulation. So in 1971, President Nixon ended the gold standard. And this meant that dollars could no longer be exchanged for gold. And that's when our current fiat monetary system began. But the trust required for fiat currencies to survive is starting to fail. And because of that, the gold price is starting to surge. When faith in the system fades, people return to the asset that's always held value: gold, baby. Gold. Now, to see how violently gold can rise, check out what happened in the 1970s. At the start of the decade, the gold price was trading around $40 an ounce. Then they went off the gold standard in 1971, rose very significantly in 1973 to 1975, traded sideways for a few years, and then went on a mother rip your face off rally, taking it all the way to the high $800. So from around $40 at the start of the decade to end the decade around $800. That's an absolutely unbelievable move, but shows you what can happen when there's a real rush for gold. So even though the current gold price has almost doubled recently, that move is nothing compared to the increases in the 1970s. So potentially there could be much more upwards movement for gold, especially if more and more countries start to lose faith in the current fiat system. So this current gold price boom doesn't seem to be just people wanting to buy an asset hoping for it to go up. It seems to be a confidence crisis in money itself. Gold is sending a message, and it's saying that the financial system is running out of time. And when you see the people who run the system start buying as much gold as they possibly can, you know we could be headed for collapse. I'm Biko Konstantinos.